okay?" She blinked a few times, pulling herself from a daze. "Do I look okay?" She looked pretty great to him, all warm curves and damp pink cotton, and no panties, with her cut-off shorts wedged around her thighs. My style, especially like with the sexier scenes, is always like, this shouldn't be sexy, but it totally is. "I was feeding ducks." He nodded, not sure he was following. "I often get naked to do that." "No, that's not what I meant." Complex acrobatic movement. Next thing he knew, she was whipping her soggy bra out the armhole and dropping it on the rock next to her panties. "Okay? What did a guy say to that?" "Sorry," she grimaced. "It's probably rude to go bare under someone else's shirt, but that wasn't gonna work." It was working just fine for him, but Leo kept his trash. Who doesn't want escapist fiction? He shoved his hands into his pockets since that seemed like a safe way to keep from reaching for her. I write romantic comedy, so there's that added layer of, life should be fun and funny, and yes, I want to weave in kind of those threads of humor and heartache and love and everything. I'm Tawna Fenske. I'm a USA Today best-selling romantic comedy author of 50-some books. My degree is in English Lit, so would you like fries with that? I'd never actually tried my hand at fiction despite having a lit degree until my book club, which now has been together 25 years. We were doing this, we called it Summer of Smut. We read a romance novel by a very famous romance author at the time. I'm not going to repeat the name, but I remember being kind of like, this can get published, I can get published. And so I set out to write a romance novel and discovered it's a whole lot harder than I thought it was. The guarantee of a romance novel is that there's going to be a happily ever after at the end, but the trick isn't actually making two people fall in love. It's having 350 pages of what keeps them apart, what issues do they have to work through, what conflicts do they have, what self-growth do they have to get through to find their happily ever after. I mean, that's so much of what a romance novel is about, is just keeping people apart long enough to work through their stuff to sort of deserve this happily ever after. Jack!
With a little help from some four-legged editors.
In your bed. In your bed. I kind of joke that you can always tell to what I might be working through.
This native Oregonian mixes her life experiences with familiar landscapes.
I get a lot of hey, was this restaurant based on this place or this location or this hiking spot? And yes, most people from Bend can recognize it.
A regimented writer, she bangs out her latest rom-com from behind a desk in her home in Northeast Bend.
My strict writing days are Mondays and Fridays. I write 4,000 words a day on those days.
And there's no loss for words when it comes to synonyms for certain body parts.
No, I don't really have that much trouble with that. My poor husband is used to me going up to his office and hey honey, I need to figure out if I were sitting on the counter and if I'm 5'4" and you're 6'1", where would things line up if I were sitting there? He gets pulled into that kind of stuff all the time.
Oh sure, there are plenty of hot takes on this steamy genre.
Romance authors are used to being kind of the butt of the joke, and when are you gonna write a real book? And I mean, honestly, I freaking love writing romance. I love that I get to write stories about women deserving happily ever afters and personal growth. I've always found that sort of noteworthy that this genre so focused on women is the one that gets all the flack.
Chatter this romantic wordsmith ignores as she pens the international language of love.
Is that Turkish maybe? French? Oh no, that one was German. I mean, it's not the sexiest business always, but it's fun or I wouldn't do it. Dante stares, trying to find his voice and maybe some common sense. For God's sakes, she's his best friend's sister. Stop staring. I think give any romance a shot, especially this time of year when it's worth celebrating falling in love. Thinks fast. I've got experience with weed killer if you want me to take a look. Jen stares at him. Dante declines to add that his experience is limited to building explosives. He's happy to look at her grapes or anything else she wants to show him.
In Bend, Steve Kaufman, Central Oregon Daily News.
It's official. She's his dream girl.